we'd make millions. We actually didn't stay very long. I think he was aware that I was having an internal breakdown at this entire situation, but I made him some toast anyway and tried not to bombard him with questions, even though I wanted to. After I'd asked who knew about university, only Daniel, and why he started making it, he was bored, and how he did all that voice effects editing software, I thought I'd better try to calm down. So I just got myself some cereal and sat opposite of him at the breakfast bar. It was May, not quite summer, but the morning sun was beaming into my eyes through the kitchen window. We talked about classic stuff like school and study leave and how much revision we'd each done. We'd both done our art exams, but we still had English, Lit, History, and Maths. I still had English, Lit, History, and Politics. He was predicted all A's, A stars, which was surprising for someone who'd gotten into one of the top universities in the country, and said that for some reason he wasn't really stressed about his exams. I did not mention that I was stressed that I was losing more hair in the shower than I probably have ever been. At one point, he asked if I had any painkillers, and I suddenly noticed that his eyes were pretty bloodshot and watery, and he didn't really eat much of the toast. I've always been able to remember what he looked like on the first day at my breakfast bar. In the sunlight, his hair and his skin looked almost the same color. "Do you go out a lot?" I asked, handing over some pills and a glass of water. "No," he said, then he laughed a little. "I don't really like going out. To be honest, I'm a bit of a loser." "I didn't either," I said. "Last night was my first time at Johnny R's. It was a lot sweatier than I expected." He laughed, hand over his mouth. "Yeah, it's disgusting. The walls were like wet." "Yeah, you probably could have set up a whole water slide. I would have enjoyed it more if there was like a water slide. Not gonna lie, I made a weird water slide gesture with my hands. Drunk water slide. I'd play for that." That was a strange thing to say. Why had I said that? I waited for him to give that Francis "what are you talking about" look, but it didn't come. "I pay for a drunk bouncy castle," he said. "Like there could be a room for the whole floor and it'd be a bouncy castle, or a room basically a children play center." "Did you ever make Money Biz?" "Yeah. You know that they had a bit at the back where the tire swings over a ball pit. I want that." "Oh my god, yes, we should make this. We'd make millions." We really would. There was a pause while we were both eating. It wasn't awkward. Just before he left, as we were standing in the doorway, I said, "Where'd you get your shoes? They're so nice." He looked at me like I told him that he won the lottery. "ASOS," he said. "Ah, cool." He almost didn't say it. And another weird, they were in the women's section. They didn't look like women's shoes. I looked at his feet. They didn't look like men's either shoes. They're just shoes. I looked back at him and smiled, not quite sure where he was going with this. He stared at me, his expression now completely unreadable. "I have a quote from Tompin," I continued, "and I tell you that the men's section of Primark is the best for Christmas jumpers." Alalas pulled his sleeves over his hands. "Thank you for what you said about university," he said, not quite looking me in the eye. "I just really means a lot to me." This is the perfect opportunity to say to him that I was the artist he contacted via Twitter, but I didn't know him, and I didn't know how he would react. I thought He was the coolest person I had ever met, but that didn't mean I trusted him. "It's fine," I said. Once we waved goodbye and walked off the door, our drive, the thought hit me that this was pretty the longest conversation I had had someone my age for at least a few weeks. I thought maybe we could be friends now, but then again, maybe that'd be a little weird. I went back up to my room, and I could see my sketchbooks peeking underneath the bed, and I thought if only he knew. I thought about Carrie, and whether she was something I should bring up. And Alan knew we'd be friends. God, he'd been there on the train at that time, hadn't he? I thought that I needed to tell him about being the artist, because if I left it too long, he might start to hate me, and I didn't want that to happen. Nothing good comes out to people. I should know by that. I should know that by now. Power. Carrie never lied about anything. She also never told the full truth, which felt worse, somehow. Not that I realized that until she was long gone. She donated our train, conversations with stories about her life, about arguments with her mom and her school friends and teachers, about terrible essays she'd written and exams she's failed, about sneaking out to parties and getting drunk and all the gossip in her year groups. She was everything I wasn't. She was drama, emotion, intrigue, power. I was nothing. Nothing happened to me. But she never did tell the truth full. She never did tell the full truth. And I did not notice. I was so dazed by the way that she shone so brightly, her incredible stories and her platinum hair, that I did find it really weird that she and Aled arrived at the train station separately in the mornings, and he walked 20 meters behind us in the afternoon. I didn't quite find it weird that they never spoke nor sat together. I didn't question anything. I wasn't paying attention. I was blinded, and I failed. And I'm never letting that happen again. University, Episode 2, Skateboard. University, 84,873 views. I will be taking on aliens from now on until I hear from you. Survival will be my priority. Scroll down for transcript. He was a brilliant bike. I can tell you that. 3 wheels and glow in the dark. And of course, it's useful to have someone around who has the use of bare hands. I can't tell you what a pain it is to have to keep these gloves on all the time. I'm still not sure why I asked for help. I survived for this long by myself. But since talking to you, I suppose I've had a slight change of heart. And if I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna have to team up with some of the city folk every now and then. These are things in the university you cannot possibly imagine out there. In the real world, creeping around in the melodic dusk, monsters and demons, and sympathetic ambitions. Every day you hear the latest fallacy. Some poor loner wandering back from the lecture, a tired geek in the back corner of the library, a miserable young girl alone in her bed. And this is what I'm getting old sport. I've come to the conclusion that it's possible to survive alone in university. Online. Mom and I were watching The Fifth Element while eating pizza when my phone buzzed, signifying I had a Facebook message. I picked it up, expecting it to be my friend's, but nearly choked on pizza crust when I realized the name on the screen. 1931. Our last. Hey Francis, just wanted to say thanks again for taking me home last night. I realized I probably ruined your night. I'm so sorry. 1934. Francis Jr. Hey, it's fine, don't worry. To tell you the truth, I didn't really want to be there anyway. And I kind of used you as an excuse to go home. Not gonna lie. 1936, Alad last. That's good then. I thought it'd be a good idea to get drunk because I was nervous about going to Johnny's, but I think I overstated how much I needed to drink. I've never been that drunk before. 1937, Francis Jr. Don't worry, you had Daniel with you as well, so it's all good. He was getting you water when I found you. 1938, Alad last. Yeah, that's true. Smiley face emoji. 1938, Francis Jr. Smiley face emoji. Both of us stayed online for a few minutes after that. I wanted to say something else, and I felt like he did too, but neither of us knew what. So I clicked my phone screen off, and I tried to focus on the film, but all I could think about was him. Stop motion. The day after that was a Sunday, and it was the day I decided to start study leave revision, and it was the day I got an email from Radio Silence, Alad, while I was midday through math question on a differential. Radio Silence. University City Podcast at gmail.com to me. Hi Twitter. Thanks so much for getting back to me on Twitter. I'm so glad you want to work at this show. I've been wanting to implement some sort of visual aspect for it. The email went on for a few paragraphs, and Alad talked about all of his ideas for the show, repeating pixel GIFs like the ones he had said on my blog, or stop motion drawings on a whiteboard, maybe an update on University logo. If it wasn't too much responsibility, he asked me whether I definitely sure I could commit because he couldn't let his subscribers down. If I was going to do this, I was doing this. I couldn't back out without a very good reason. It made me feel sick. I put my phone down, and on top of the math answered. I'd been writing in my notebook the letters on the emails and the numbers on the paper all fuzzed up together for a moment. I needed to tell him it was me before I messed up another friendship. Hashtag special snowflake. It took until Monday evening for me to come up with a plan. I was going to ask him about his shoes. That's how I was going to start another conversation with him. Somehow that was going to turn into me telling him that I'm Chillers, the fan artist that he emailed me about the podcast, that I already told him I was obsessed with. Somehow I didn't know how it'd be fun. I'm well practiced in the art of bullshitting. 1633, Francis Jr. Alad, this is really random, but I was wondering where you said you got your shoes from. I'm kind of obsessed with them and have been scrolling through the website for the past hour. LMAO. 1745, Alad last. Hi. They were from ASOS, but they're a really old pair of Vans. I don't think you can buy them anywhere. 1749, Francis Xavier. Aw man, that's too bad. 1750, Alad last. Sorry, if any consolation, Dan always says they're looking for shoes for 12-year-olds and makes a really disgusting face every time I wear them. 715, Francis Xavier. Well, that must be why I like them. Most of my things I wear in my wardrobe look like they belong to a 12-year-old. I'm 12 years old on the inside. 1753, Alad last. What? You always dress so professionally for school, though. 1753, Francis Xavier. Oh yeah, well, gotta keep my head girl study machine reputation. At home, I'm all about burger jumps and Simpson shirts. 1755, Alad last. Burger jumpers, I need to see these. 1757, Francis Xavier. Webcam photo of Francis' jumper that she is currently wearing. It has a bird all over it. 1758, Alad last. Dude, that's amazing. Also, I have a jumper from the same website. I'm literally wearing it right now. 1758, Francis Xavier. What? Show me. 18 o'clock. Alad last. Webcam photo of Alad's jumper that he is currently wearing. It has UFOs on the sleeve. 18 o'clock, Princess Junior. Oh my fucking god. I love it. I didn't even know you wore stuff like that. You always in plain stuff. When I see you out of uniform. 1801, Outlast. Yeah, I'm always scared people will laugh at me. I don't know. It's probably silly. 1802, Francis Xavier. No, it's not. I'm exactly the same. All my friends look so cool and beautiful and classy all the time. If I turned up wearing a burger jumper, they'd probably just send me home. 1803, Outlast. Oh my god, your friends sound so neat. 1803, Francis Xavier. No, they're cool. They just, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know. I feel a bit different. Nah, they're cool. They're just, I don't know. I feel a bit different from them sometimes. Hashtag special snowflake, am I right? 1804. No, it's alright. I don't know that feeling. In the end, we tried on Facebook, gone until 10 p.m. And I completely forgot about telling in the artist until 3 a.m. When I woke up and started to panic, and I couldn't fall back asleep for another 2 hours after that.